Yo, what is up everybody and welcome back to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash and I hope you're having an amazing week. It is currently Tuesday and let's get right into the charts. So let's start with Bitcoin. As you can see, Bitcoin is currently finding support at that weekly pivot. We slightly wicked below it, but as you can see, our next resistance right here, our next support is exactly that value area high from our range that we did actually manage to break above, and we are currently trading above it. And as you can see, the price is finding support right here exactly at that value area high. If we extend that level, as you can see, 104k is a perfect bounce, and we are also currently trading above. We get back above that weekly pivot, currently trading at 105k. And as I said yesterday, we did on that fake move during Sunday and also the beginning of Monday, we did grab all that liquidity, as you can see right here. And right now we took also the liquidity to the downside, and we have more liquidity sitting right now above us at around 107.5k. Basically 107 is between our weekly pivot resistances right here in this box. If we make it like this so you can see better, basically in this box is our liquidity. So I can see price bouncing from here and then going up once again from that pump to in the middle, around in the middle of this box right here, about 3% pump to take out this liquidity that's sitting here, and also then probably take the all-time highs at 109k. If we go to a hard time frame, as you can see, we are still moving nicely. RSI momentum is also moving nicely. If we go on the daily time frame, as you can see, still we did break above this range right here, and we are currently testing it. As I said, our RSI momentum is getting a bit of a reset right here, so it can probably continue to go up once again and then get above our 80 line. So right here is basically once it starts getting greenish, and then we are in the oversold zone. So once we get to the oversold zone, then I expect us to be at around 109 or 110, basically at the all-time highs of Bitcoin. And if we look at Ethereum, as you can see, Ethereum is having a hard time right now, so it's struggling more than Bitcoin. It is rejecting if it lows from that value area high, as you can see from our range that we did break above, but right now we're still back. We got back into that range, and currently we're trading below our weekly pivot, as you can see. And Ethereum is struggling, but we'll talk why that is later. So as of right now, if we go on a lower time frame, as you can see, our RSI momentum getting a nice curve to the upside. So I'm suspecting if Bitcoin and the stock market keep going up, then altcoins will also have a nice move. But as for Ethereum right now, I'm expecting another drop to basically 2400. And why is that? It's because our value area low is sitting right at this level. So I can imagine probably something like this. We go once again, test that weekly pivot, then we go back to that level, test right here, and then we can try and break above that range, maybe hitting our first weekly resistance at around 2680, or maybe 2700 is, I think, our woody pivot resistance, if I'm not mistaken. So basically that's my outlook for Ethereum. On the daily time frame, the RSI of Ethereum is getting nicely reset right here, as you can see. So basically once we get to the middle at the 50 line, then I'm expecting a possible move up, as you can see, for Ethereum. But that will easily happen if Ethereum drops to that value area low, as I said, and then we can try to break above that range right here and possibly test our weekly pivot resistance at around 2700, as I said. So if we look at Solana, basically yesterday, as I said, for my trade, Solana did hit my take profit almost. My take profit was a bit lower, so it got perfectly hit. And as of then, we did not actually completely perfectly tested that weekly pivot. But as you can see right now, we are currently dropping and we are finding support at around 166. Basically, that's our first weekly pivot support. And for Solana, I am also expecting the same as Ethereum, a nice RSI curving up, and once Bitcoin and the stock market start going up, then I will see the altcoins also have that nice move to the upside. But if we look at our Bitcoin dominance, something that concerns me very, very much for the altcoins, as you can see, Bitcoin dominance is once again setting up a trend line. Let me make it like this. As you can see, basically this trend line is very, very bullish for the Bitcoin dominance, but at the same time it's not good for the altcoins. As you can see, we got that perfect test of the trend line and also that weekly pivot, and since then Bitcoin dominance has been just going up, as you can see. So that's why the altcoins, Ethereum, Solana, they are struggling. So if we reclaim that previous trend line, that bigger trend line, if I go on a hard time frame, as you can see, basically if we reclaim this trend line right here that we've been keeping for a couple of months, I will tell you exactly right now, for not the months but basically 154 days, so that's almost half a year, basically 6 months we've been keeping that trend line for the Bitcoin dominance, and right now we are forming a new, possibly a newer one. And if we manage to get back above that last bullish trend line for the Bitcoin dominance, then the altcoins will be struggling very, very much. So I'm hoping that we do get possibly a pump to that first weekly resistance, or maybe actually test that trend line and our second weekly pivot resistance, and then we can hopefully dump back to the downside, so the altcoins can keep going up nicely, and also Bitcoin. And right now, if we go to the stock market, basically the stock market is moving perfectly. As you can see, still keeping that perfect bullish trend line. We are testing it right now, so I'm expecting we've got new weekly pivot points for the S&P 500 this week. So we did actually test that weekly pivot, but we tested it on the CME futures chart, and basically I'm expecting higher price targets, or possibly basically the all-time highs of the stock market at around 6,150. That will basically be our pivot resistance right here. Our second, I think our second Fibonacci or our third Fibonacci resistance, and then the above the all-time highs, I think it's sitting our Woody pivot resistance. Let me see. Yeah, that's our Fibonacci. Basically our Woody pivot resistance is sitting right here. Our Fibonacci, our last Woody is sitting above this above the all-time highs of the stock markets. But as I said, this weekly resistance 3 and also support 3, they tend to not get hit that much. So basically, as I said, I'm expecting the all-time highs at around 6,100. If we go to a hard time frame, basically right here, I'm expecting move to right here for the stock market. That's basically 1.5% pump. No, excuse me, that's more. That's basically 2.5% pump for the stock market. As I said, as long as we keep that trend line, and also on the daily, we are actually in the overbought territory in the RSI. So let's talk about the other possible scenario, is that the stock markets right now, they will get a cool off, basically possibly to our second weekly pivot support. so that will be 4% correction for the stock markets. Then if that happens, I'm expecting Bitcoin to basically fill that big candle that we made here. So there's basically not much volume right here, as price just shoots straight up, and these candles, if price breaks below it, these candles tend to be weak, and I'm seeing that price will probably get a push back down to around 97,500, so basically 8% correction for Bitcoin. But if that happens, that will be a very healthy correction in my opinion, and then we will possibly get a new entry for long, new opportunities, and then we can target once again the all-time highs. So basically, if something like this plays out, then it will be even better, since we will get a better entry, and then we can get a bigger percentage, as you can see, so more profits, as I said. And that's my outlook for Bitcoin. Now I just want to look one more time at gold. So basically gold is pumping right now once again, and if in my opinion gold starts pumping again very, very aggressive to the upside, then it's possible that the stock markets will get that correction, since the money will be flowing into gold. As you can see, gold also got that perfect bounce from our weekly pivot, as you can see, right to the dollar, and has been having almost 2.5% move to the upside. Now also if we look at the dollar is also getting weaker. It had that rejection from that weekly pivot, as you can see right here, and it will almost fall below $1. So basically the dollar is getting weak, and this is also bad for the stock market if the dollar gets another move to the downside. And basically if that happens, then as I said, I'm expecting this correction possibly to happen for the stock market to get another dump to the downside, like 5% correction. But as I said guys, if we do not lose that trend line or that weekly pivot right here, I'm still confident that maybe this week or next week we will see the all-time highs for the stock market, and also possibly the all-time highs for Bitcoin, or even we can make new all-time highs, almost 10% pump to around 115k. So this will be very, very good once we completely break above this consolidation right here, because right now, no matter how you look at it, this is still a consolidation. It does not matter that we got a bit of a breakout to the upside, then we got back down. We are still in that range, and as long as we stay in it, then the price will be right here, and we need to finally either break down or break above it to the all-time highs, as I said. If we also look at the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, we're once again, yesterday with that pump, we were getting back into the greed zone, in the extreme greed almost. But as of right now, there is some fear coming into the market, so we're kind of getting back to neutral. So if we go back to neutral, then as I said, then I will be expecting that move, because in a couple of videos ago, as I said, once we were right here in the 50, I said I was expecting, when we were right here at around 94k, I think, when we were in the neutral zone, I said I'm expecting a move for Bitcoin. It's tend to happen. So once we get back to that neutral zone, we do not stay that long in it. So basically, we either get a fast move to the downside, take out all of the liquidity sitting below, and then we can start looking for that move to the upside once again, as I mentioned, and take out all these all-time highs. But currently most of the liquidity is sitting above, so I'm confident that in this week or next week, or maybe at the end of the month, we will still get the all-time highs and then maybe get some kind of a bigger correction before going up higher. And that's my outlook for Bitcoin for today. I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.